All right, this is one of those videos for that membership channel. There are a few things I want to talk about in this video. And I don't know if I'm going to put this at the beginning and then put some stuff at the end. But do want you guys to look at this video. And this is something that in my 20s I always wanted to be, was clutch. I always wanted to be that guy, that wanted to come up with a chance to win a game. I've always wanted that opportunity. Even when I'm on deck circle or I'm in the dugout and I'm coming up, I hope it gets to me. And so what I'm gonna do is I've studied this for 40 years, guys. I've tried reading books. I've actually talked to a bunch of people, and the one thing that I actually had back in the day was I had a guy that I hit with. His name was Bill Blake. And you talk about clutch. Billy is probably one of the best clutch hitters, one of the pros. He's won a lot of games, 2 outs, bases loaded. You got to either hit a base hit or a home run. But one thing I like about, because I'm a thinker, when it comes to softball, I am a thinker. I look at situations. You're going to see one clip in here where we are 3 runs down. We have 1 home run left and there's 2 outs. And if I hit a home run, it actually will only tie the game. And they have an opportunity, and I think the top of their lineup is coming up, because I'm always asking questions, where are we at in the lineup? And if you guys have played with me, you know what I'm talking about. I've always asked questions, where are we at in the lineup? Where are we at in their lineup? Where are we at in our lineup? Who's coming up? I already know who's hitting behind me. And I actually know how he's hitting. So I'm always aware if there's a base hitter behind me. Is there, in this one game that you're going to see here in a minute, is we had a very good clutch hitter, very good home run hitter. And what I opt to do is, what I was going to do is, he fed me a good pitch. I was going to try to turn on it and tie the game, because I also have enough confidence in the guy behind me to get a base hit and to score. I have enough confidence in my team. So these are things that you have to think of when you're coming up in the lineup. You've got to know where they're at. Do they have the top of the order coming up? If you're, bottom, or are you top? Are you bottom or you top in the buffet? What do you have to do? So I'm constantly thinking. So in this situation, you're going to see it here in a minute. And I think we were playing against the elite team out of Arizona. And I opted, the first time up, I kind of turned on a ball to try to hit it out. And I missed it. I actually hit a foul ball. So now there was, it's 2-1. And I'm actually playing defense now. I'm not on the offense where I can just hit whatever I want to hit. I'm in the pitcher's hands. So I've actually I'm not going to try to hit a home run now. So basically what I'm going to try to do is hit a base hit and get on, because I'm not trying to force it to try to tie the game. So I'm going to leave it in the guy behind me's hands, which I have 100% confidence in that he's going to win the game, or at least get a base hit for the guy behind him to win the game. So that's what I'm talking about in one of these games that you're going to see here, about mentally prepared to do this. This is another thing too. You never think, when you're in these situations, before you guys see this clip, you never think you're going to make an out. You never listen to anybody. You never know who's in the stands. You never know who's chirping at you. You should not ever know who's chirping at you. You should not be listening to people in the stands. You should not be engaging with people in the stands. You should not be engaging in people that are talking in the dugout to you, or even your own teammates. I don't hear shit that my guys say. I really don't, because I am zoned in. I am so much into, and all these games that you guys are going to see are championship games. They're at a higher level. They're not backyard shit. They're not, they're not weekend ball here in Texas. This is actually worlds. A lot of them are at worlds, or a few of them are at states. A lot of them are in Vegas. You have a couple that are in the Dalton, the Smoky Mountains, one of them. And then Dalton, Georgia, another one. And basically, you have to know how to prepare yourself. I'm going to talk a little bit at the end of the video about what I do. and who taught me a lot of things when I was growing up on what he did to get prepared for big games. And I've always, I've always wanted to be that guy. Like I said earlier, I wanted to be that guy. And you never, you never not want to be that person. I think, therefore I am. That's a saying that I always say. If you're not, always think that you are. You actually will change your mind on thinking this way. The one thing I will say, I won't say this at the end, I'll say it right now. For one, you have to keep your health. You have to keep everything ticking. You got to keep everything on top level, optimal levels. You have to be hydrated. You have to take your supplements, like I do every day. You got to be hydrated to actually get to that, because your brain's got to think too. You cannot slack in anything. Your thought process. You cannot let your mind wander. There's a ways that you can do this. Watch this video. You got to be carved up. You got to have your food. You got to have enough energy to actually get you there. And that's how come I talk so much about you have to be mentally prepared. Well, your brain feeds off food, carbs, supplements, hormone levels, to actually be that monster that you always thrive to be in. You can't do it on a low testosterone level. You got to keep your testosterone at optimal levels, or you won't have that thought process. And that's the fact. You guys can go look that up too. But make sure your health is there. Hydrate, supplementation, your food. Make sure you're carved up. If not, you should be chewing on something in the dugout. I usually keep some protein in the dugout in my bag, that if I can feel that my energy level is not there, I'll actually supplement with something that's in my bag, either being dried sausage or some kind of a carb. They have carb shakes out here. I'm going to show this in one of my videos too. This is a fast acting right there. It keeps me fueled. It keeps me hydrated. Because guys, if you lose, water levels, you lose 40% of your strength, and you need strength to compete at this level. And this is all Major Plus videos you're going to see here. There was a couple of older videos that I was not playing Major Plus, and I was playing kids ball. And this is in the 80s, late 80s, guys, this first clip you're going to see here. And then I'm going to talk about how to prepare, how to get to this. And this is for that membership channel. Video is going to probably be long, but I think at the end, when I tell you guys how I prepare, and you're going to see a lot of walks trying to get to me. And I looked at all, and it took me a while to get this video up, but I looked at all my at-bats, and I wasn't hitting like shit, but I did back up a lot of damn good players. I backed up Charlie Mueller. I batted behind him. I backed up Larry Carter for 1 year, my biggest year ever in senior softball for this crush team that I played with. I backed up Tommy Clark. So whenever they would try to pitch around them, I would always come up, number 3, number 4, number 5 in the lineup, and I would always protect them. And you can see later on this video how they're walking them to get to me, because they're because Larry's bigger than me. Larry's 6'4", 6'5", and they see this little guy over there, I guess, this short guy, and they think that they can get around Larry or get around Tommy. Tommy's 6'1". Charlie Mueller was 6 foot tall, and they see this guy. They'd rather risk it with me. But I try to make people pay. And I do carry, this is another thing too that I talked about the other day, is you always want to carry confidence. You don't want to be cocky. You don't want to be that dick out there. You don't want to be verbally talking about how good you are. When I walk on the field, playing major plus ball, I always quietly think I'm better than everybody else. You have to. You have to have that swag, right? And then you can tell in these videos, I kind of have that swag, and at that level, right? And I always, but I never say it. I never talk about me carrying that swag, or me carrying. And I can see people that have it. I can see people that don't have it. It's just the way that you carry yourself. And I've always carried myself that way, because it actually turns into my confidence. That's my confidence. I'm very confident when I step onto the field, and I actually don't talk about it like a lot of other YouTubers out there do, and talk about how good they are. I never do that. I've never talked about how good I am. And if you guys see in the video, I'd rather show you clips, right? In other words, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about, and you guys never have heard me talk about this shit, but I've always show you clips on what I've achieved and how did I achieve this. So that's what I'm gonna do at the end of the video and tell you how I prepared, and it actually carries over to a lot of tournaments that I played. And hopefully it'll help you guys out too going forward when you're taking batting practice, because a lot of this was developed in batting practice, guys. Take a look at the clip.
Hold up, Cam. Come on, sit yourself up here again, big guy. The one you like.
Right now, Dave.
Get up, big guy. Come on.
Fix and pull that gate up.
Hey, Brett, come here.
Come on, super. Yeah, we're deep. Real deep. Try the ball. High point.
Now you ready, big guy? Hello, baby, Sophie!
Game is tied up.
Don't even worry about it, Rose. That's just the pitch. There it is. There it is. Hey, it's cool. There you go.
There you go.
Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Stay right here. Stay right here anyway. Fine. Wow, you guys don't gotta go.
You don't walk in.
Come on, let's go.
Dave. Dave, come on now, let's go. Right here. Hey, Super Dave, all you got everybody tag up. No, y'all don't have to tag.
You wouldn't want everybody to score before you get a chance to get before you talk.
Already walked.
On deck back, please.
Dave, grab the ball. Dave, make them pay for it now. Here we go.
Well, they're getting rid of it.
No, they're not. That's stupid because you're bringing up another.
But yeah, you get closer to the start of that.
Come on, come on. You got to score. You got to score.
Oh, he's in. You're in, Al. Slow down, Al. You're in easy. You're in easy. Hey, good job, Dave.
Now let's see what I broke the glass. Go on now. Come on. You all right? Okay.
Hey, teach him, Dave. Hey, school him. School him.
5 is on 1. Line drive left side last time.
Hey, Al. What hit the ball, Super Dave? Come on, Dave. You don't even know to do it. Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to make a swing at something. Yeah, they're probably saying they're going to. Oh! That's big. Yeah, you put the camera out, he's going to hit that. Yeah, a lot of spin. Good job, Bob. Hey.
Good eye.
Yeah, he was in foul.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Dave's going to go.
Oh! That's how you go, Dave! Let's get on out of here! Get up out of here! Top ball with the camera out right there. Hey, relax, Dave.
Hey, one of yours. Get one of yours.
Come on, Dick. You're the best, baby. No. That's cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 5. Michael, you're running down 4.
Like that, be free. Just need one.
strive for this, baby. You strive for this. Come on, man. There you go. Hey, that's baby, you ain't getting out. Good location, Tony. Good job. Right.
Little deep, Tony. Hey, not bad. Little deep. Stay there, Stu.
There he is.
Tony.
There he is.
That's a foul. Good night, D. Good night, D. Not volleyball. Not volleyball. Not volleyball. What'd you say? Make it obvious. Make what obvious?
Yeah, we know you want him to win. We know. Let's play the game. Let's go. What?
Okay, coach.
I know because he doesn't. You know he doesn't want his team. No. Yeah. Get another umpire in. Tell you wanted them to win. Let's get out here.
You know what you got to do?
No, but he does. He does.
Make some Mary. Make the play.
Come on, David. Lee, hey, let it go.
Come on, guys. Come on, let's get one, guys. Get that down.
You're the best, Ken. Just want, hey, Blue, just a little early, all right, baby? Just a little early.
I got the middle, right? I got the middle.
I got you.
Come on, Dave.
You're the best. Got to get there now.
Keep going back, huh?
Just one.
Let's go, man. Go, man.
Right, Glenn.
That's rip, kid.
Thanks, bro.
Okay, guys, we got one out. One out. Right time, yes, 33. Courtesy on one, 33.
Where, Seven?
Got a baby, Davey. Got a baby, Davey.
Seven's a home boy. Big right there, man. Big. That boy, Dave.
Good job, Jimmy.
Good.
Ball, what up?
Hey, don't take
Say
nothing
hi,
off.
Dave.
No one better than you.
There you go. That's it.
Got a boy.
Dave.
Hey, we're back in.
Mike.
Hey, we're back in, fellas. Pick up.
Okay. All right. First base is the winning run, correct?
I mean, I want you to hit.
It's the basic.
One out, right? Yeah. We have one
That's it, here. Turner!
I'm going to give you a verbal.
Hey, drag right through here, bro.
Okay, put the winner on.
That blue hammered out. Two. Bottom of the seven. Yeah. Tied up. Win and run. One earlier, y'all wouldn't be in this situation. What happened?
They overthrew the ball and turned it around.
Wait till the
Hey, ain't nobody I'd rather have there, man.
That's it.
Hey, Blue. Runner.
4 and 1.
One out.
2 down.
Whatever you like, Dave.
David, get them hands free, buddy. Don't take nothing off of it.
That's right.
Don't
Drive
take nothing off of it. 12. Free to hit it hard. Keep that head down.
Keep going. Get up.
That's what, D.
That'll work, baby. Hey, way to go, fellas. Woo! Attaboy, David. Attaboy, fellas. I lied to you.
Come on, Chucky. No, coach.
When?
14, 15.
What?
Second trip.
Right?
Donnie, be for sure, Donnie.
Right?
He's only allowed.
That second trip, he has to change pitchers now, correct?
In the same inning.
No.
In the same inning.
KC, come here. Two coaches visits, you have to change pitchers, correct? No? They don't do anything? No?
That's this girl's faster, so it's not. But there's a triple thing.
Okay. So that just learned something. Here we go. I'm double checking with him. Tommy, I'm making sure.
Here we go, Dave. Here we go, Dave.
Hey, right here, Dave.
Lock in, Dave.
21. Here we go, Dave. Right here, bud.
All right, guys, after you guys watch that video, I want to talk about what I do, right? And how I got to that, where I can do this. And for one, you have to want to do this. You can't be afraid to come up in spots like that, and especially batting at the top of the lineup. You can't be afraid to come up in spots like that and not want to be there. I've always wanted to be there. I always hoped that I was there to help my team out. So you got to want to do that. Another thing, too, if you guys saw that one clip where Ed Starcher was the coach of the team we were playing against from Florida, and he was chirping at me in the dugout, and I turned around and kind of looked at him because he was saying something about the YouTube guy. This is the YouTube guy. And I know Ed. I talked to Ed. So he was just trying to get into my head to try to, freeze me. They call it freezing. Let's freeze him. I don't freeze good. I don't, for one, I'm not, it actually gives me a little bit more time to get my heart rate down, because the adrenaline starts to get pumped up because you come up in a situation where you can win the game for your team. So my heartbeat does elevate, and I've found out a way where I can actually calm it down a little bit, get the adrenaline where it's like, and it's a breathing technique basically with me. So I'm actually, when you see me coming up in these situations, I'm just breathing regular. I'm just, and I'm not thinking about what if I lose? What if I don't do it? Well, I never have thought that coming up in those situations is I never think of the glass half empty. I always think of the glass half full, right? So I'm thinking about, okay, I'm gonna hit. You guys notice one thing too. I hit the first pitch. Look at all of those. That's that's longer than 10 years. That's a lot of video. A lot of video of me just swinging at the first pitch. There's a reason why I swing at the first pitch. I'll tell you in a minute. But I never go up there thinking I'm not going to hit into a double play. I'm not going to make an out. I never think that. I always have utmost confidence going up there. My first thought process, I'm going to smoke this ball. And I tend to watch the ball being released a lot more in these situations because I concentrate a whole lot more. There is one of these clips in there where I was 0 for 3 and they walked, it was in a state tournament, and they walked this guy to get to me and actually put the winning run on second, tying run on third. And I went up there and I tried to pull a ball to hit a home run because we had a home run left. And then what I did was I slapped the ball up the middle. I concentrated a whole lot more. Those 3 at-bats before that, I didn't concentrate. Well, they were thinking, this guy hadn't even got a hit yet. Let's walk and get to him. But it made me like, okay, you got to pick it up here. You got me engaged. You got me involved. So whenever I go up there, I never think negative ever. I always think positive, and that's training. That's training my mind to actually get up there and just rip it. And my first thought process, just hit it hard. Don't go up there and get cheated. Hit it hard. If you guys noticed, a lot of my cuts, I am smoking the ball and trying to hit it, those line drives. Not trying to hit home runs. I'm trying to hit that ball down and hard. I'm going to my weapons, because I talk about weapons too in another video about I have 5 different weapons. So if he throws me outside, I have a up the middle. If he throws me low and inside, I got a 5-6 hole. If he throws me a home run ball, I'm just going to turn on it and rip it to try to win the game. Also situational. I'm looking at who's behind me. especially with 2 outs. If they're gonna try to pitch around me, which already they didn't. They try to, a lot of these games you see right here, they actually walk the people to get to me. So that's almost like a slap in my face too. So my adrenaline starts to go like, hey, fuck y'all, and that gets me going. Another thing too, I don't get way too confident. I actually slow my breathing down. I get up there, take deep breaths. I don't listen to anybody. There was one time where I talked about Ed Starcher is chirping at me, and I kind of turned around and told the umpire, I said, can you get him to shut up? And you can see it, can you get him to shut up? And I know Ed, but he's just trying to freeze me. He's trying to get in my head. And then you'll see another time at the last of the video where the coach will sit there and get in my face. Like he's making it a point to try to get me out of my game. So he walks over and he was talking to the catcher and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him. And I tell you seriously, I didn't even know he was there. I was so blanked and I was so locked in that I didn't hear a word come out of his mouth. I didn't know what he was talking about because I don't hear the stands. I don't see that people. There was a time, and I'll kind of ramble here in a minute, but there was a time where I was playing in Florida last year. And because of what I do and who I am, a lot of people tend to gravitate toward my games because they know I'm there and they want to watch me. So I was playing with a buddy of mine named Tony, who was with me when Crush, and he played on my 60s team. And I was in Vegas, and he looks over at me, and he kind of leans into me, and he goes, hey, you haven't made an out? And we're on Sunday morning's game. And I'm going, what? Well, no, I don't even know I haven't made an out. I know I'm hitting good, but I know I haven't. I know I'm pretty up there, but I don't think about that, Tony. I really don't think about, hey, I haven't made an out. Oh shit, I don't try to press, basically. So I just get up there and I do my shit. And usually, guys, you know this too, right? If you haven't made an out and you're going into Sunday, you're in a zone. You're in a zone. You tend to hit better, believe it or not. You tend to hit better. You're not pressing. If you make one out, who gives a shit? You're still batting at 900. If you played it the Sunday, who gives a shit? You bat 900's good. I like to go to tournaments batting 1,000. Really would. That's my goal. Every time I play, that's my goal. Go to tournament batting 1,000. And if not, I'll bat 900. Not, I'll bat 800. Doesn't matter. I try not to get less than 3 outs. That's what I try to do. When I'm going in that direction, I'll change stuff up. Always think it. And then, as we start playing, he goes, I don't understand how you do this. How do you do this? I go, what do you mean? He goes, look at the people watching you. So I turn around and I look up in the stands and there's more people that are watching our game than there is at any other games at the ballpark. And he goes, they're watching you because they're talking about you. And I go, really, Tony? I don't see that. When I'm walking up there, I'm not concentrating in the stands. If there's a hot chick in the stands, a nice looking girl, I don't watch her. I see a lot of guys that said, hey, check out what's in the stands. No, I'm concentrating on the game. Or that one guy's here, that one guy's here. Oh, he's over there. Or the short porch guys are here. Or Carlos Vega is watching your game because you're swinging his bat or whatever. I don't watch him. I don't care. I don't sit there. I don't listen to anybody. Some guy I was walking. My wife told me this. I was walking to hit, and the game was on the line, and I hear somebody stand says, "Hey Dave, how do you like that Alan Tanner bat?" I never heard him, and he's like, he's not listening to me. Dave, he's yelling at me. Dave, how do you like the Alan Tanner bat? And I'm getting ready to hit. It's in Florida. And my wife tells me about it later. And I got a base hit, And I said, I just don't listen to that. That's the one thing. I'm giving you guys little tips here. Don't ever listen. Try not to listen to the other team, your own guys, because you don't need your guys. In game situations like that, you don't need a hurrah guy in your own dugout yelling at you. You don't need that. The guy already has so much pressure on himself anyway. Don't talk to him. He knows what he has to do. Don't try to, everybody goes through. It's another thing too. If you notice in what I'm doing here, I have a routine before I go to the plate. Always have a routine before you go to the plate, even in not clutch situations. Every time you go to the plate, make sure that you go through your routine. They tell you this in baseball as a kid. Make sure you go through it. If it's cleaning out dirt, then do it every time, right? It's locking your brain in. You have work to do here. So you're locking your brain in. You've got front, back. Look at what I do. Front, back, and then I make a little line for my back foot, and I step in that line. And it's usually right over that plate where I always step every time during BP. Usually what I do. Have a routine every time. Don't go up there and start doing different kind of shit. Every time you step to the plate, have a routine. That's number one. And you guys know I do the same shit every time I got up the bat right here. So don't hear anything that's around you. A lot of people are trying to get into your head or talk shit to you, or stay out there longer to get you to freeze or stay. I don't think I've ever been frozen. Now, guys, let me say something here. I am not 100% in winning games. I'm not 100% clutch. Nobody is. My goal, as whenever I started playing this game, was try to be in that upper percentile. Try to be in that 80 percentile. I want to be, and when I started off, it wasn't there, but it was pretty close. And I was every year kept getting better because I started learning different things on what to do to prepare for this, you know? So always try to be in that upper percentile because nobody is 100% on clutch hitting. Nobody is. I want to be in that 80%, 85%, basically what I want to do. First pitch reasons. I'm a pitcher. I've been a pitcher for USSSA for 30 years. When I'm pitching, right, and I walk somebody, I'm trying to gut the first pitch every time. Now, I haven't talked about this in the past, but I'm talking to it here because you guys are a membership channel. What I would do is I want to get, because last thing I want to do when I go up there and I walk somebody, even intentionally, I try to pitch around them. I don't want the next guy walking because I'm walking to get to him. So my first pitch is going to be gutted, right? If I get a strike on him, I am in control. All right, my phone shut off. So there's two things as me being a pitcher, what I'm going to try to do. I don't want to walk you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gut the first pitch. So my mindset is get up there, get locked in to hit that first pitch. If he doesn't throw you the first one, he's damn sure going to groove you the second one. So there's two shots right there that you can take to win the game, right? I would never, never let him work me to two strikes. Never let him work me to two strikes because then he's in control. Now your whole game changes up. You're going to have to start slapping. You're going to take you out of your game, but you still need to get a hit to move it on down the road. So down the road, the guys behind you. So guys, you need to be the aggressor when you go up there and you're going to swing because you want to be the guy, right? You don't want the pitcher to actually do anything. You don't put it in his hands. So that first one's going to be there, right? Or the second one's going to be there. So if he throws you a ball, that second one's going to be grooved and you just smoke it and hit it. That's one. You have to train for this, guys. You have to mentally prepare yourself. You can do it right now. You can do it next time you hit BP. And the way you train, for this is BP. Basically, the best thing you can do. Now you have your body in shape, supplementation, you got your carb levels up, you got your glycogen levels that are stored. And what you're going to do is you're going to train for it. And you always, when you're up there, you always want to be thinking, but not negative thinking. You always want to be looking around to see where everybody's playing, right? And then that's it. What you want to do is assess the infield and outfield to see where everybody's going to be. Right? But get locked in. Once you actually clean that plate or clean that little area you're going to hit in, you're in there and you're locked in. You do not think, you do not hear anybody else. Your own purpose to be there is to win the game or take it to the next inning, either tie it up, you know. There's a couple of times, I think I said this earlier, there's a couple of times where I could not burn a home run. I wanted to, because we only had one left, I wanted the guy behind me to actually hit it. There's one in there, and I don't know if you guys saw this. It's kind of hard to pick up, but he's got me on a full count. He's throwing the ball high. The umpire's letting him get it up there. So if you look at me, I kind of scoot back about 6 inches because I know he's going to try to bust me up on my face. So I'm thinking, right? So I know he's going to try to throw it in here and high. Instead of tomahawking, what I wanted to do is I backed up about 6 inches. But when he releases that ball, and I hit a grand slam to tie the game up in the buffet is basically what I did. But the guy that's first baseman starts running toward me. And then right when the ball's being pitched, he starts running toward me. And I don't know if they can do this or not. The umpire didn't pick it up. But if you look real close in that video, the first baseman is running toward me and he's stomping his feet. And then I hit a grand slam to tie the game up. They came and asked me, did you see him? I said, no, I didn't even see him. I had to go back on video to actually see what he had done. Basically, they used to do that in U-Trip years ago. You know, or the pitcher would actually throw a ball and run to the side to get you where you're looking at him. I don't even see that stuff. And I guess it's years of playing U-Trip of them trying to do it. Now, let me tell you what Bill Blake taught me back in the 80s, right? Because I asked him, because he would get mentally prepared. He would hit 250 balls on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, getting prepared for the year. Once he got prepared, then he would hit 250 balls on Monday and Wednesday, then he'd fly out on Thursday. And then when he would get up to the tournament on weekends, he'd hit a few balls. But basically what he would do after I was done pitching to him a little bit, he would take the last 20 balls and put himself in game situations. He would visualize himself with the game on the line at the plate. So basically his whole demeanor changed. He's up there hitting balls, right? Boom. And just hitting them. I'm feeding him, right? Just pitching to him. So then he stops and he got me into doing this too later on, but then he'd stop and he goes, okay, playing U-Trip. Try to get me out. Throw like you're going to get me out. And juke, you know, because I would juke back in the day. He goes, juke and throw to get me out. And what he did was he would visualize the games on the line. He'd visualize, because he played for Steels at the time, and he played for Smythe Sox, Howard's, and he would actually tell me, you know, before he would go out of town and play, he really focused on this. When the season started, he focused on it a lot more. So during off season, it would be his last 10 swings. During the season, the last 20 swings. So basically, he's up in the plate and he's cleaning it off in BP. He's just cleaning the plate off, and he gets up there and his whole face would change, where he was like, he had that mean look on his face. And then I would ask him, well, he goes, you got to get mad at the ball. You got to get mad at the ball. That picks up the adrenaline a little bit, you know, get you where you're focusing, because a lot of people that get mad get focused a little bit more. And he goes, put yourself in game situations. So you're visualizing basically what they do with powerlifting, right? So what my coach did with powerlifting when I got into my 30s, he would say, you visualize you lifting the weight, right? That way you already done it. And if you do it enough times, your brain your adrenaline level goes down a little bit, right? Because your brain's already been there before. Your brain has already won games on the line. So the part that your brain doesn't understand is the adrenaline gets too high and you got too much adrenaline, and that's too much, right? So you tend to overthink, right? But if you've been there and done that before, it tends to get easier. So when you start winning games, when you get up there and you start hitting line drives, or you start winning games and you start being that guy that can clutch, it gets a lot easier because you've been there and done that, right? So basically what you want to do in a game is visualize yourself winning a game. Visualize yourself. You can't hit any home runs. They're already done. You got a guy at second. You got a guy at third. Those are the winning runs. You got bases loaded. You just need one to set it up where you're going to hit a base hit. You're going to hit a base hit and practice. Hit all the time. That's another thing too. You guys, you know how you guys get better at doing something? Do it a lot. You know, you get better at clutch hitting. Put yourself in visual situations, right? During BP that you can succeed. You actually succeed doing it when you're hitting BP. That's nothing. Why do you take BP? You know, to find out what pitches you can hit around the plate, find out pitches you can hit, and keep doing it. That way, in a game, you know you can hit that pitch, right? So when your mind's thinking the game's on the line, you tend to not get as choked up during an actual game. You know, you have guys behind you chirping. You know who's a big Bubba Blake? I did a video on this. Bubba Blake's the biggest chirper behind. You know. Because when he actually made us tougher, that Bubba Blake did. I'm not saying go out there and get that dick that's behind us that's gonna start talking shit to you, because they're gonna talk shit to you in the stands, guys. Learn not to hear it. Be focused on something else. Be focused on the picture and what he's doing, what he's looking at, what he's, not really trying to get your mind off of it because you don't want to stay too focused into him. Just focus on something, how the position on the infield. Are they playing a 5-man? If they're playing a 5-man, okay, you don't want to hit the ball down, right? If you do hit it down, you want to smoke it when it's going down. You want to hit a gapper. So, think about what do you have to do. In one of these videos, you can say they're playing a 5-man and I hit a gap to win the game. It's visualize. You have to visualize it in batting practice to make you a better performer during clutch situations, because in your mind, you've been there and done that. Thanks, guys. If you enjoyed that video, I got a couple more here that I want you to take a look at. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button right down here below. And I also have a membership channel. It's that little join button that you have right down here. Click on it, and it actually has a small video in there that explains everything in the membership. Plus, it actually helps support what we do. Thanks, guys.